Well, a very big welcome back to day 2 of this 2017 Hohhot Judo Grand Prix here in Inner Mongolia. And this unique city is the capital of Inner Mongolia in northern China and plays host to this 2017 Judo Grand Prix. Now, after day 1 here in Hohhot, Japan, Russia and Mongolia showing their depth in judo for sure, and China doing very well as well. 4 more weight categories today, and we're looking forward to more great medal matches tonight. Joining me in the commentary position is Sheldon Franco Rooks, and he's going to introduce our first matches of the evening.
Very good afternoon, Neil, and a very good afternoon to everyone viewing. We've got the opening bronze medal contest in the under 63 kilo category. That features Edwige Gwen of Italy. She's up against Ji Yun-sil of the Republic of Korea. It'll be Gwen in the white judogi, Ji in blue.
Yeah, this is going to start it all off. Very experienced Edwige Gwen of Italy. World rank 16, and Jose Ordonez of...
I missed where it was.
Yeah, exactly. He's going to be refereeing the match, this first medal match of the evening, and what a medal match it's going to be as well. Ji Yun-soo, very new on the scene. It's the first ever Grand Prix medal match of any kind, and she's got a work cut out here against Gwent.
I think he's from Honduras.
Honduras it is, isn't it?
He's not one of our regulars.
No, new on the scene and doing very well out there as well. So Gwen in white, Ji of Korea in blue, representing the Republic of Korea. Now then, don't see that very often, do you? Yoko Wakari there. Both feet disappearing off to the side and then full rotation. Didn't quite get a score for it though. That was brave.
As you say, it's normally reserved for your exams.
Yeah, I mean, it takes full commitment, and when you're in a medal match, first time in there fighting for a major medal, and these Grand Prix, of course, well, in a year's time, then the full qualification system starts up to the Olympic Games. But these are very important matches now because we've got the World Championships in about 50 days' time. And so some of these countries are preparing their athletes at this tournament for the World Championships. And some are here for experience.
And speaking of under 63 kilo category fighters, which this is the weight category. The Republic of Korea have got a new women's coach. And you saw a shot of her there, the former under 63 kilo category competitor Jung Da-woon. That was her in that shot there.
Well, every 4 years, of course, we do have a turnaround. We have certain athletes that will go for a second Olympic Games. The odd ones will be going for a third, but then we have a new batch as well of young fighters coming through the junior ranks and then trying to make their mark on the seniors. Now, nice Uchimata attempt there from Gwend. Tried to change direction for the Sumigaeshi there. Ji Yun-soo doing very well to contain this very experienced Italian.
It was an afterthought, wasn't it, the Sumigaeshi, and it was like, oh, I should go for that, but by that time the opportunity had gone. You didn't have the reaction from...
Well, it's action. We talk about action, reaction, don't we, in judo all the time. So fate one way, go the other. And it's all about using your opponent's action against themselves. You've got to be careful here, Gwend. That looks to me as if that might go on there. She's underneath the neck. And Gwend is saying it's across the face. Yeah. Referee has to get down there and stop that. So mate called. Well, Gwend complaining there that it was across the neck. It's got to go, it's across the face actually it was, and it's got to go underneath the chin.
I don't think we're going to mention the coach again. We already called her name once, but our cameraman appears to have taken a shine to her.
He does.
Yeah.
He definitely does.
No.
Muovila un po', cerca di muovila un po', apri e muovila, apri e muovila.
From a bit of a sore chin.
Well,
that.
they do push the boat a little bit when
Yeah.
it comes to tactical play, and she was definitely playing there to try and get a penalty for the Korean. Didn't happen, and it didn't wash. 3 penalties, 3 Shido penalties, and it's Hon Sokomaki disqualification. But of course, the main aim is to score Ippon, which is what they're trying to do here. It's quite a close match, isn't it? It is. 4-minute contests, men and women. We're coming up to the end of the 3rd minute of this competition. If there's no score on the board, it will go into golden score, and then anything on the board there will decide it. Oh, look at that though! Oh, wow. Well, I'm not so sure that won't be changed to Ippon, but that was a really good technique there from Gwend. I'd like to see that back in slow motion. It's got to be with absolute force on the back to get the Ippon. Anything that rolls is a Wazari. So let's have a look at it. Surigoshi off the belt. Big Uchimata there. I thought that was a very good decision there from the referee. Just landed on one shoulder and then rolled onto the back. Yeah, he did well.
He's going again.
I thought that was another replay then.
Well, she's had some success with it once. Why not give it another go?
Yeah, great technique from Gwend. Big Uchimata.
And as you say, Ordonez, the referee saw it once, gave his decision. We had the benefit of the replay to confirm it.
Yeah, I mean, it's on the spot stuff from the referees. Yeah. It really is.
Good man. Good decision.
21 seconds left of this first bronze medal fight. And Gwend, Edwige Gwend is in the lead with that Wazari on the board. Getting a bit desperate now. Ji Yun-soo knows that it's drifting away from her.
Gone now. 4 seconds left to go. That's the shortest time I've ever seen anybody get hold of anyone and come up with a score.
Yeah, well, Gwend will just make sure that she defends now. She can go a penalty. She probably will do.
Yeah. Still rubbing the back of the head, the neck. I think she was hard done by there.
Well, they are very tactical. As I said before, she was pushing for the penalty there because it was across the face, but no penalty was given. In the end, it was all down to the throw. Really nice belt grip into Uchimata. And Italy open up the accounts. There's the Uchimata. Beautifully taken.
Yeah, she gets the elbow down as well first. The upper arm lands, rolls onto one, lands on one shoulder, rolls onto the other, and as Neil says, unless it's flat on your back.
Well, they're even harder now with the Ippon, giving the Ippon absolute autonomy.
The second of bronze medal contest now just features Magdalena Kosakova of Austria. She's up against Katerina Falkova of Russia. It's Kosakova in white judogi, Falkova in blue.
Well, Kraskova, world ranked 17 from Austria. Falkova of Russia, ranked 13 in the world. Now, the world rankings, they become very important in about 12 months' time, because then people start to accumulate world ranking points for Olympic qualification. And actually, it's just come about, hasn't it, that there's equal amount now of men and women in each of the categories for qualification. And it used to be that there was a disparity of more men.
Bit of a gap, yeah,
there was a bit of a gap.
22-14.
22-14, and now I think it's what is it, 16 each or something like that.
Yeah.
In each weight category, that is.
Or 18 each, yeah. We had some more numbers given to us. I think there's the person responsible for it.
Yes, the president of the International Judo Federation, Mr. Marius Visa there.
He's also responsible, primarily for the inclusion of a team event, men and women.
In the Olympic Games. Yeah, no, it's going to be magical because team events just offer that little bit more. Was Ari given there to Volkova?
Just took them a little bit of time to have a look at that. Craig just took his time before he came up with that. Had a word from his colleagues.
Yeah, she's really committing Volkova, going for the score, and that's the whole idea of the rules as they are at the moment. Used to be 2 wazaris making an ippon, and now you can get any number of wazaris.
She came unstuck earlier on. She was leading in one of her previous contests and then came unstuck. Went over for ippon eventually. She won't want that to happen again. The difficulty for her, however, is that Osakova is very, very strong. Scores are tied up now. She's missed out on the offside comment. She was just there briefly.
It was almost there, wasn't it? Krasakova, of course, had to come through the repechage final. She lost in the quarter-final stage of this tournament, and then she had to beat Hacker of Australia.
Shouldn't miss that.
No, she was right on it, wasn't she? Had to hold her there for 20 seconds to get the ippon, but it wasn't to be.
There was a moment there when Volkova was frozen. Now, if they go to the ground and they're rolling off, that's harder because you have to chase them. She was there.
Actually in it.
For the taking, yeah. Oh, well, no doubt her coach, Marco Spitka, will have something to say about that afterwards. He'll say less if she wins.
As he always does.
But he'll have plenty to say if she loses this one. Not looking as though she's anywhere near attempting a turnover there, so the referee calls mate, stands them back up, and there's 2 minutes left to go, isn't he looking?
Yep, Wazari each on the board, so all evens, anybody's match just over the halfway mark. And now, anybody's match. Of course, there's several ways on the ground to win, 3 different ways on the ground actually, holding your opponent down for 20 seconds, arm locking or strangling for a submission, and then of course you throw somebody on their back, fully on their back, it's all over. Ippon's what they're chasing. Well, they're on the sleeves here now, so they've got to attack off the sleeves. Oh, that was a nice Tomonagi, bit too on the front there to warrant the score.
Volkova was leading the number 1 seed, Catherine Unterwürzacher, earlier on by Wazari, and then ended up losing by ippon.
Yeah, just a little bit of lack of concentration, and it can all go away, can't it? It almost did there, didn't it? You know, split second there, you turn the wrong way at the wrong time.
Mr. Zhou, the current president of the Chinese Judo Association, is doing a really good job for them as well.
Yeah, he was saying that often the that's going to be a score. Is that going to be a score? That just might be.
For a turn that you gave it the first time round. That time I think it was even better, turning the body, a little bit of control on the way down. I would have gone for that.
Well, certainly it would have been worth a look, and if the referee can't make up his mind there, normally goes to the referees at the side of the mat area, who can look at a television screen and have a look at the replays. That's going to be a score. Oh. Gets the ippon for it.
And you can see Volkova at the end of that, that she just hands, head in her hands, disappointment, not once, twice today it's escaped her. That there are going to be 2 people on that medal podium, both of whom Volkova had led today, and in the last minute she lost it against Unterwürzacher, and in the last minute she's lost it to Unterwürzacher's teammate Krasakova.
Yeah, I mean, Krasakova is definitely one up and coming. They've got a bit of depth in the category, the Austrians, and like you said, Sheldon, just one lack of concentration, but there's two times now it's happened to her.
I tell you what, though, Marco Spitker's in happy land, isn't he? Because he's got two strong women in that weight category. The #1 seed we're going to see coming up next, Catherine Unterwerzer. But look at this power. And then Valkova was one of my picks for a medal at the Games in Rio, and she gets absolutely thumped here. Nice strong top half.
Well, it was very, very strong, wasn't it? And I think it was an Ashiguruma or Oguruma.
Yeah. I'll tell you,
just powers her over.
That last time round, if she missed the Osaikomi, she weren't going to miss it there.
I think she was actually right the way in there. There would have been no excuse for the escape there.
Wraps it up.
Yeah. Munigatami.
Right, we spoke about Kosakova's teammate, Catherine Unterwerzer, and here she is now, the #1 seed. I think the world #3 at the moment. She faces Tashiro Miku of Japan. It will be Unterwerzer in the white judogi, Tashiro in blue.
Yeah, they've met twice before, and Tashiro, the winner on both occasions. So it'll be interesting now to see how this one goes. Every final's different, and you can never really say who's going to come out on top, but certainly Tashiro seems to have her number. Tashiro, of course, a double world bronze medalist, but actually one of the only Japanese ladies team that didn't medal at the last Olympic Games. She came 5th, so she really has got a score to settle.
Not to be too disparaging to the opponents that Unterwerzer has had on the way to this final. She had a win against unseeded Zhang Wen, unseeded Dilba Umralieva, and then came up against Ekaterina Valkova. She's just had the one toughie, and in that one toughie that she's had, she was Wazari down.
Yeah, she was down. I think she's got to be careful down there.
Yeah.
Unterwerzer likes. Sometimes she just goes onto all fours, and you cannot do that with the Japanese fighters because they'll punish you. And certainly Tashiro will want to get on top whenever she can.
Just went from one chair to the other, didn't he?
He
Marco
did.
Spitker.
Like you say, it's just nice to have depth in the weight category. He's guaranteed 2 medals, but he'll be wanting the top one here for sure. Yeah.
Well, the good thing is when it comes around to the World Championships, the Austrians can send 2, and they've got 2.
Yeah, well, in certain weight categories, that's going to be a score. Unterwerzer there counters Tashiro backwards. That was beautiful. And I'm not so sure that wasn't actually on the points of the shoulders either. That was a really good Wazari.
Very sharp, strong. She meant it. So we're going to have a look here.
Yeah, it's Tashiro's.
It was her arm underneath.
Yeah, that's what stopped it. And there's a Wazari back. Tashiro hits back. This is it. This is the danger. Straight into the hold down. Ooh.
Just had the leg trap.
Well, she had the leg trap. I didn't see the leg trap.
It was on the other side. We couldn't see it from here. But Heather Lutchins, the referee, had a good look at that. Said, "Okay, this isn't going anywhere. Looks trapped."
Wow, crowd absolutely loving this, aren't they?
And it's a Chinese crowd, but they're into the judo.
Yeah, and you can hear it as well. And every time somebody twitches or tries to go for a big score, the crowd are there.
Sumigeishi, the attempt from Unterwerzer at that time, that was too far away. Didn't turn at all.
Well, she's certainly fighting this very, very differently there.
So bad that they gave her a penalty for a false attack.
Yeah, Marco Spitker, he's not shy to tell everybody what he feels, is he? And that's a poor attack, that. Now, I think the referee has got to punish that. Anything that's a false attack, doesn't break balance, should be punished.
You see, she's come under pressure from the grip there and thrown that Sutemi Waza in. That's not, for me, a real attempt to throw. She wants to get away from that difficult position. She's just thrown that in, and she got away with it.
She did do this time, and now Toshiro, who's dominating the sleeve here, has got to attack off it as well. So the thing is about the grips, they grip the sleeve, sometimes both the sleeves at the same time, but you've got to attack off it. And like you said earlier, it's about action-reaction, using the grips to your advantage.
Just backed up a little bit here is Unterwürzacher. She can't really free herself because that left hand is trapped, and it's Unterwürzacher who picks up a penalty. Toshiro had her frozen there. Another good effort.
Well,
from
saying that, she went
Unterwürzacher.
onto the leg there. She went onto the leg, I'm sorry, but I think they're going to stop this match any second now, and they're going to take it back, because that, for me, was not a score.
And
I'm really surprised that the referee never saw that, because she was, that's sorry, that's a Shido, definite Shido, and that's going to lose her the match. She's right onto the leg. She went, she hooked in.
It's not the best angle, and now she, and I think that is a historic thing. That's, you know, she just forgot.
Just sometimes, you know, it's Marco Spica there going, what happened? But I think when she sees the replay, it was quite clear. She went on to, she did side sacrifice there. She just went onto the leg
to assist her
and
down,
assisted it. You're not allowed to touch below the belt line at all. Third Shido up to Unterwürzacher, and she loses this to Toshiro.
It was all going really well, wasn't it? We had
she was
another,
fighting her really well.
We had another 35 or 40 seconds of that bit of action to come. There it is. Oh, there's the left hand around the back, and it's in front of.
You're going to see it clearly now. Watch the left hand come here underneath. Tries to disguise it a little bit, but
this is a better angle here. Bang! There it is.
It's just one of those unfortunate
now
things.
we know why. Look where the referee is, and look where the hand is. Look where the she can't see that. The body's hiding it. That was, how did she not see it? The body is completely hiding that.
Good job, we were here. Well, now to the men's under 73 kilos category, the first bronze medal match. Up there is an interesting one. Macias here of Sweden, who's really on great form at the moment. Ayachev of Russia as well on good form. Two big throwers.
Referee in the middle for this one is Cho Lin-sun of the Republic of Korea.
She was quite a judo player as well. Former world Olympic champion out there, refereeing this match.
Fought at 48, 52, 57, what would be 63 now, and 70. Incredible. Absolutely incredible, and won medals at all weights. Mind you, she was out there at 16. So.
Yeah, incredible record. So Macias is in white from Sweden. And Ayachev, brilliant as she was at Ayachev. He really is dangerous. My goodness. He can turn them out from anywhere, but he's got to be careful of Macias because, like I say, he's on great form at the moment. He has some good sacrifice techniques. There's one of them. Yoko Toshi there. So I think it's going to be a really good match, this. But just looking up now just to see who Ayachev, because I must have looked away at some stage, but who he actually lost to, but it was the Canadian, wasn't it, in the semi-final?
We'll see after Margelidon, that's who he was talking about. He was in the final of the under 73 kilo category. This time the finish looked like Maki Komi. He was lucky to get the left leg over there.
He's got to watch his now, because this is going to be outside Komi if he's not careful here, Ayachev.
He's trapped in there.
Well, it was a sneaky little score there, but he got took the Swede down. Have a look how he does it. Well, it was Makakomi, wasn't it? Soto Makakomi, and he just drives towards the mat, ties the arm up.
He was completely tied up.
It really was. It really was tied up there.
Nice wrap. He was just a little bit low with that Ushiro Osaikomi. He was too low, and that allowed Yartsev to get the leg over the head and trapped him.
You can never write Macias off. He's medalled in almost every Grand Prix Grand Slam that I've seen him in, and here he is yet again in a medal match.
He's a real danger man.
Yeah, he really is. He's one of those that can really spoil the party at the Olympics or World Championships.
Leads by Wazzari with a little over a minute and a half left to go, so time enough for Macias to come back.
Well, Macias has, like I say, some really good Sumigaeshi counter techniques. He wants that big arm, right arm over the back there, and Ayechev has done his homework. He's not having any of it. Well, I think that just about says it all there. The coach absolutely telling him not to let the arm over the top. But he can't run away. Ayechev has still got to attack. It's still over a minute to go.
He's just using that left hand to trap under the sleeve, making it impossible for him to get for Macias to get that arm over the top. And he's picked up the penalty for negative gripping. Oh, almost caught him.
Well, that's why that's why he's being so careful there, the Russian, keeping that hand off. Like I said, Macias dangerous. There's the Sumigaeshi, gets taken down himself here.
He rushed it.
Well, if I was Ayechev, I would just try and stay there, waste a few seconds, valuable seconds, trying to get that leg out.
He didn't set himself properly for that, Macias. He rushed it, that last effort.
And of course, the athletes that are here in preparation for the World Championships, medals are important, but it's more getting as many matches as they can in. See, he should be penalised for this now, Ayechev.
Yeah.
20 seconds to go. He's really defending like mad, and Macias wants to get on with it. So this should be a second penalty up for the Russian.
He gets penalised for the false attack. A couple of seconds before that, you could have called.
Yeah, absolutely, and every second counts here.
Seconds left to go. Time enough for maybe one more big attack. He still can't get the right arm up and over. Well, there was just enough in there.
Well, there was. He just broke the balance.
Yeah.
When you drop on your back, you take your chances, because if you don't break balance, it could be a false attack. So he just does enough there. Ayechev of Russia winning the bronze.
That was a good effort from Tommy Macias of Sweden. Took Denis Yartsev of Russia all the way to the end. Couldn't come up with a score, however, and it was a single Wazzari scored by Denis Yartsev that gave the Russian the first of the bronze medals.
Yeah, it was opportune stuff from Ayechev. That Soto Makakomi stealing the score that was to win in this bronze medal match. Good performance from him, but he had to be careful. Look at the arm over the top there, just throws himself down to the ground there.
Unusual execution.
It was an unusual execution. Stabilizes himself with the left hand, doesn't he? And then gets rotation. Really turns the head. That's the thing about Makakomi, you have to rotate.
And the key here is look how deep he gets that arm. He gets it right up by the elbow. You know, sometimes if you catch it lower down, you're going to find it difficult to get purchase on your opponent. But he traps it way up by the elbow, and Messias can't get off it. Right, we come to the second of the bronze medal contests then. And this one features Mohammadi Barimanlu of Iran. He's up against Dirk van Tichelt of Belgium. It's Mohammadi Barimanlu in white, Van Tichelt in blue. And the referee in the middle for this one is Marius Jeverin of Romania.
Well, Van Tichelt really has a great record. Two-time world bronze medalist, and he is a current Olympic bronze medalist, but just been out a little while since the Olympic Games, just starting to come back now, and every match counts for him here. Mohammadi, though, is dangerous, isn't he? He's got a lot there, and he could just upset the apple cart here.
He's surprisingly powerful for a fighter at this weight. It's not a word that you often apply to the under 73 kilo category. Maybe some of them will be strong, but the boy is powerful.
Yeah, and you can see it, but so is Van Tichelt. Van Tichelt has amazing gripping skills. He doesn't. He has a good posture as well. He throws left and right, and every time he grips up, it means something. You can really feel that he's gripped you up, you know, and I've sparred with him a couple of times. As an old man, of course, but yeah, a really good gripper.
So Robert Krawczyk in the chair.
Great judo man himself as well, from Poland.
Yeah.
Now, of course, in charge of this Belgian team.
Single Shido against Van Tichelt at the moment as Mohammadi attempts that right-sided Ojigari that Van Tichelt just steps off without too much trouble.
Yeah, well, he can just get off the pace just a little bit sometimes, and it does cost him, but he is very explosive, and you'll see him changing left grip, sometimes back to right. But Mohammadi certainly unorthodox, and he can counter as well. I think we're going to. I just feel that we're going to see a big score here.
Possible that, yeah, both fighters pick up penalties for non-combativity. Just stalking each other, looking for a strong grip. Yeah,
well, this is when it will happen. Now it's going to happen. Big arm round the back there from Mohammadi. Dirk van Tichelt holding right. Now it's going to happen. That arm, when it comes round the back there. Saying that, neither one of them have really attacked, have they?
He's had two little stabs at Ojigari, and on both occasions Van Tichelt has seen it coming, stepped off it. I suspect, however, that Mohammadi has got something that he's going to follow that up with.
Well, he obviously feels dangerous as well out there. And, everything is transcended through the grips, of course. And when you grip up with somebody, sometimes it's pretty terrifying because you feel as if you're going to get thrown every time. Latter part of the contest is where Van Tichelt sometimes struggles, but of late he has been a lot better. He'll switch sides here, Van Tichelt. Well, one more penalty and it's going to be all over. Van Tichelt needs to attack, and he can't, can he? You can see it out there now. It's just starting to go a little bit.
It's that power, I think. You know, like you said, you feel it. You actually feel the danger. And Mohammadi is transmitting that to Van Tichelt now. Powerful fighter. He hasn't been able to open up Van Tichelt yet. 50-odd seconds left. Well, just under a minute.
Yeah, it certainly seems to have a little bit more puff, Mohammadi. But you can never write a thrower off. Somebody who can just take advantage of somebody's poor attack. left or right situation here. That's why I thought for sure that Van Tichelt would change to the other side. I thought he's going to change to right-handed stance and then probably go left.
I think Mohammadi's perfectly happy for both of them to get penalised here. He's on 1, Van Tichelt's on 2. You hit 3, and it's, you know, disqualification. So he was quite happy to slow things down, make it difficult. You know, Van Tichelt then fell into that trap. He gets a penalty. Mohammadi could get one. They could have given Mohammadi first. And
doesn't matter though, yeah, it's all over.
He ends up with the second of the bronze medals. Slight disappointment. Neither fighter really able to come up with anything, but there's something for Van Tichelt to work on.
That was about as close, wasn't it, as anybody was going to get there with that Tayatoshi. Just manages to stay on his knees. But that third penalty there means that Van Tichelt, who won't be very happy with that, it means he wasn't as active as he could have been, and he gets 3 penalties and Hans Sokamaki disqualification.
Well, that brings us now to the final of the under 73 kilo category, and this is the one that the home crowd have been waiting for. Sayin Rigala of China faces Arthur Margelidon of Canada. It'll be Sayin Rigala in the white judogi, Margelidon in blue, and I'll try and stay away from saying his name too often.
We were just talking about the match, weren't we, just before we came on air, and just saying that it's a great chance here for China to get a gold medal. Sayin Rigala has had good form all day. He really has.
Oliver de Roses of France is the referee in the middle for this one. Big cheer for the man from China, local as well. He is from...
But Margelidon has had great form as well. Canada doing well at this tournament.
Good head to head,
that's for sure. Yeah. Sayin Rigala in white, then Margelidon of Canada in blue.
They say that Sayin Rigala is from Hohhot, local name for Hohhot.
Is that right?
Yeah, we've had some terrific help and assistance from the local volunteers, and one of them pointed out to me, or introduced, oh, nice actually was her attempt there from Margelidon. Just brings Sayin Rigala down to his front, and now there's a chance for some work on the ground. Neil's going to describe what should happen here.
Well, what he's got to do now is he's gone onto the neck, but it's all about the catch when you're in a situation like that. And by the catch, I mean that if you're going for a strangle, you've got to get the neck, you've got to catch it, you've got to go underneath the chin. And if you're going for an arm, you've got to be inside the arm and trying to straighten the arm out, or you can do a bent arm lock as well, but you've got to attack either one of those.
Well, unfortunately, neither of those two things happened for Margelidon, and eventually it was Sayin Rigala who had the opportunity to work on the ground. That went begging. The referee called Mate and stood the pair back up. We've got a little under 3 minutes left to go.
Anything that's progressive on the ground will be allowed to carry on. Anything that the referee might think is going to get a score of any kind, and he'll let it continue. And they can even roll outside of the area as long as it's progressive and it's continuous movement. The referee will allow it. Of course, if it goes into the crowd, they might stop it.
You can imagine why Sayin Rigala may be a bit nervous here. It's all down to him. Oh, nice. That was so deep.
Well, was Harry given there? And I'm not quite sure if it was. I thought that the elbow was up. And it might just be taken off. So it's going to go to the video referee who'll have a look at that just to make sure that the elbow was up or not. I thought that he landed on his elbow here. I'm not sure if we can get a replay so that we can make an assessment on this. But if they land on the side and it's the whole of the upper part of the body on the side that touches the mat, then the score is given. If the elbow goes in contact with the mat first, then it won't be given.
I had the feeling that Sayan Jirigala turned off it.
Yeah, so we will see that when we see it back in slow motion, and see why. But for the people out there that are wondering why, it wasn't the side that hit first. So no score given. Sayan Jirigala attacking Moghelidon on the ground now. Got to get out the legs. Just over the halfway mark. Right against left. Right-handed fighter Sayan Jirigala. Left-handed stance has Moghelidon. And that means then that the sleeve, if you have a look at them trying to get each other's sleeves under control, it makes it more difficult. If it's right to right or left to left, it makes it easier to catch the sleeve.
He's got a good work rate now, but that's only after he's picked up the penalty for passivity.
Yeah, he had to speed it up a little bit, didn't he? You know, another penalty here, and he would be in trouble. Moghelidon goes again. Another turnout from Sayan Jirigala.
Sayan Jirigala is obviously feeling something, and he's reacting to that little movement that Moghelidon is showing him that suggests that he's going to throw him to the front, when actually what he's doing is setting up that technique with the big koji gaki to the rear. Shows him the top for the Seoinage, drops that
yeah,
right
you
leg
get
in.
an opposite reaction just to get him rocking back on his heels every time he does it. Well, he's got the sleeve now, Moghelidon. Got to use it. Has he got the neck? We can't see it from here. So certainly the catch situation with the transition into groundwork is something Moghelidon, if I was his coach, I'd be getting him just to tighten it up a little bit. No score, he landed on his backside.
Yeah, there's no power to the back on the tatami there.
Got to be the side. So it does look as if it's going to go into golden score. That penalty will be carried over. But Moghelidon will have a chance. If he gets one more penalty against Jirigala, then he will win it. But Jirigala will have a chance to pull this back, because if Moghelidon gets a penalty within the next minute or so, then it's all evens again. And then it will be down to who gets the winner. Did he touch the legs there? I'm not so sure he didn't touch the legs there.
Moghelidon's had the better effort. The two koji gaki efforts, and that last one there, that wasn't that bad. Sayan Jirigala's just been a little bit tentative. He almost stepped onto that. And now there's a chance for turnover, missed it.
Everything to fight for. And he's got the whole of the home crowd right behind him here. On the other side of that, Moghelidon has got the whole crowd against him, except for his own supporters. No, it didn't land. Well, I think they'll have a look at that one. I'm not so sure yet whether that's going to score, and the crowd won't like it if that doesn't go their way. Let's have a look how he landed. We were at a bit of an odd angle, weren't we, here in the commentary position.
And it's the same little feint that he gives him with the koji gaki, and he reacts to it this time, Sayan Jirigala, to take him back. But whether he was under control or not, and they have said yes, they like it, and we'll be able to see on the replay.
Yeah, gold medal then to China. Lovely to see the home nation with a gold medal.
There you go.
Oh yeah, it did.
Just enough there.
No, yeah, just.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And
there's no doubt, and the other thing is his hands in there. You know that he's going for this. That's enough. Yeah.
It was it was a kind of borderline.
Yeah. The old style Yuko.
It was borderline.
Good reaction, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a good reaction. Action reaction. Sometimes, you know, taking an opportunity like that, your opponent attacks you, you turn it, and you turn it to your advantage.
And it was the technique with which Margeligon came closest to scoring. And he ended up on the wrong end of it. Right, the bronze medals are being presented now by the president of the International Judo Federation, Mr. Marius Wiesen. The first of the bronze medals goes to Magdalena Kasagova of Austria. Edwige Gwend, Italy, receives her bronze medal. The silver goes to Catherine Utterberg of Austria. The gold medal goes to Shiro Niku of Japan.
Yeah, that was a good performance from Toshiro. 3-0 up now. It was 2-0 coming into this match, but a big mistake, wasn't it, really? Under Vazaka, really, her hand slipped down underneath the leg there. You're not allowed to touch below the belt line, otherwise it's a penalty immediately. You can see the hand there. It was almost, it used to be allowed, it's not now. It's just something she used to do, obviously.
Yeah.
Rise for the national anthem of Japan.
Well, it's there. That technique is there. She just needs to be able to complete that without the hand assist. Now the national anthem of Japan.
Thank you. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for a family picture with the VIPs and the athletes.
Kasagova and Gwen were the bronze medalists. With the work effort, picked up the silver. Shiro of Japan, who walks away with a gold medal. Final look.
There's the family picture. We talk about the judo family, and it really is that. Friends that I used to compete with 30 odd years ago, 40 years ago, and it's an amazing thing for the sport. These fighters will carry that with them as well, all the way through their lives.
We come to the first of the bronze medal contests in the under 70 kilo category. Referee in the middle for this one is Nashrat Bukbat of Mongolia. We're going to see Jong Hae-jin of the Republic of Korea should be up against Natasha Ausma of the Netherlands. It will be Jong in the white judo gi, Ausma in blue. And unfortunately, Jong was injured in a previous contest. She injured her arm against campaign.
There was a technique that was done with an arm lock being maintained with the technique, and so nobody likes to see that.
Luckily, we can tell you that the technique resulted in a dislocation that was put back in by our doctor, and she's gone off to the hospital just for a scan.
So Ausma of the Netherlands gets the first bronze medal, is the second one.
And this features Gershak Sabina of Hungary. She's up against Barbara Matic of Croatia. It's Gershak in the white judo gi, Matic in blue. The referee in the middle for this one is Wang Xiaowei of China. We've got two referees from China. They're both called Mr. Wang. No relation, though.
Well, Guksak is the up-and-coming, isn't she? She is the junior world champion.
If only she'd stay off the mat for a while and get herself fixed as far as injuries are concerned. And she's carrying a knee injury here into this tournament.
Well, it's a bit of a chance, isn't it? Especially with the World Championship so close.
In your own city.
Yeah. And that's going to be a score. As a Wazari scored there, Matic scores immediately on Guksak.
I just, said to her coach earlier on, why is she here? Why is she doing it?
Did he give a reason?
She wants to fight, she wants to fight. But, you've also got to be able to say to them that there must be a point at which something is, not bad, little effort. I don't think it was continuous, though. It was a sit down and then the push down.
Well, I think they might give it. There's a chance. Are they going to? No, they're not. Ochigari. And quite right, the arm was in there. You could see it clearly that the arm was in the way there and the side didn't actually make contact.
Guksak has limped off every contest today.
Well, like I said, not good when you're coming up to a World Championships. Just 1 month to go, just over a month.
Oh,
that's going to be it.
Done.
Is that going to be it? All over.
Yeah. Well, I don't see the point of calling Mate there. That was an absolute finish.
Well, that was a mistake. I don't know why that wasn't a score. Maybe he did call the Mate just before she came in. But like you say, why? Why the Mate?
What for? To give a penalty or something? Yeah, because they hadn't stepped off the area. Unless, well, if they feel as though they'd stepped off the area. I didn't see any stepping out. Matic, now having dumped, being dumped, picks up a penalty, but she still leads by Wazari.
They're both extreme left here, aren't they? They've got the same kind of style, that's for sure.
Well, Matic dodged that bullet because she was on her way. I don't think she had anything to say about that. She goes again, no, missed this time.
Guksak had to beat Pisoni in the repechage final to get to this bronze medal match. Have to lose in either the quarter-final or the semi-final stage to qualify for any kind of medal possibility.
No.
It's not going to happen, is it? Tried for the arm lock there. Again, not hooked into the arm at all in order to get any leverage.
I think she's got a good Ochigari Matic. She's already scored once from it, and she combines that with the Osodagari as well. So I know what direction they're going to be thrown in.
Yeah, I mean, it's all one way, isn't it? It really isn't anything to do with changing to opposite flanks. She nearly pays the price there.
When she decided to change.
Yeah, it's it.
I'll try something different. We put the score up for that then.
Well, they must have done. They must have counted the counter-attack. Took her onto her side, so it's all evens now, except for that penalty up against Matic there. Is that underneath the neck? No real conviction there. Needs more conviction with the groundwork just to catch either the neck or the arm. A bit of a lackluster contest, this. They step out, of course, 2 feet out, and it will be a penalty for whoever steps out, unless you push out. We saw a big controversial match earlier on in the day where somebody actually pushed somebody out, thinking that their opponent was going to get the penalty, and it went against them.
Yeah, the most exciting thing we've seen so far was the Uranagi that got waved off, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, there's nobody that really looks as if they're going to throw for Ippon, that's for sure.
Matic won't think that that was unfortunate, however. She was on the receiving end of it. 2 penalties picked up by Matic. 20-odd seconds left to go.
She'll have to make it a good 20 seconds now, because, and that's got to be a score. I thought she counted her there. That was a Wazari. Well, having a little look at that, they might just give the Wazari there.
Well, they do.
And they do. So a second score for Matic, and she's well ahead now. 12 seconds to hold on. She's dominating the sleeve. Not the technique that you want to do if you've got a knee injury, is it that? Drop Cianegi from Gersak.
She was complaining about the sleeve grip that Matic had. She held on to for quite a while, but as is the case with a few fighters, outside things begin to, affect her.
Yeah, it's no good moaning about it. You've just got to get on with it. If you're finding it difficult with the gripping strategies, which she was finding it difficult, she was being out-gripped.
Yeah.
Matic just did enough. 2 penalties, though. It was one of those situations, one more and it would have gone against her. But anyway, 2 scores for Matic, 1 for Gersak. And the bronze medal goes to Matic.
Former junior world champion.
Well, that's 2 of them, isn't it?
Both
Both
yeah,
of them.
Both. Yeah. Yes. Good turn at the end.
They say if you can't recognise the technique or put a name to it, then it's not a score. So I think would say that was probably an Oji or an Osoto Makikomi. We'll give it a name.
I'll go with that. We come now to the final of the under 70 kilo category. Maeda Naeko of Japan faces Kim Seong-yeon of the Republic of Korea. It's Maeda in the white judogi, Kim in blue. And the referee in the middle for this one is Wong Go-chao.
It's interesting, isn't it? It's a little bit of a mix, this Japanese team, because there's some fighting for world championship places, and there's others out there for experience, because I was talking to the team managers just earlier on in the day, and they said it's a bit of a mix of a team, and that's why Maeda here in the final, world rank 87, hasn't been out that much, and she's here against Kim Seong-yeon, who's world ranked 16. She's got a much higher world ranking. But of course, this is the final, and it won't carry much in a final.
Have to be looking at Kim Seong-yeon here. She's got the much higher rank position on the IJF world ranking list, and you don't get those unless you've done something.
Well, it's all about consistency of performance. The ones that consistently perform and medal at these Grand Prix Grand Slam events, they're the ones that have the higher world rankings. Right against left, you can see it really clearly there. Right leg forward of Kim, left one of Maeda. So look how they're struggling to just catch that sleeve to gain control.
We just had a quick flash there of the former double world champion in the chair for Maeda. It was Sami Haruna. Tiny little figure at 48 kilos, coaching the bigger girls at 70.
And now coaching, of course, in the coaching position, which is seems to be the way to go, doesn't it? Either that or people go into politics or they have a little rest from it, but often the involvement is in coaching. So left against right, Maeda just managing to catch the sleeve there of Kim. It was Maeda that beat Matic in the semi-final, and Kim the winner over Uzma of the Netherlands. Certainly world rankings will go up for Maeda here after this final, whether it's gold or silver. Looking for the Uchimata here, Maeda trying to hop the support leg central. So she'll hook in with the left leg and then try and get the right leg as deep as possible between Kim's and try and get leverage and lift.
The Japanese have got the current Olympic champion at this weight, Tachimoto Haruka. She won the games in Rio at under 70 kilos, but I think she's decided to stop now. It's left a bit of a gap there for them.
Such is their depth though, isn't it, Sheldon? Really, they have amazing depth, and when you think that probably 2 million people practicing judo at the moment in Japan, it used to be a little bit more than that, it used to be near 3 million. When you think the amount of people that most countries have practicing judo is in the thousands, kind of puts it into perspective. I think it gives you a better chance, doesn't it, to build depth in each of the weight categories. 7 weight categories in the men's and 7 in the ladies. They could probably put 3 or 4 out at the World Championships and have a possibility of a medal in most categories. Well, seconds ticking away in this gold medal match. 20 seconds left, 2 Shidos up there to Kim. Is this going to be it? Just might be. Not the way we want to see a final decided, is it, really? We'd rather see throws or things on the ground to score upon.
Maeda has posed some problems for Kim Seong-yeon that she hasn't been able to work out. The South Korean has picked up 3 penalties along the way without ever really opening up and showing us, you know, any serious attempts at big attacks. And as a result of that, Maeda's been able to just, you know, keep busy enough to avoid being penalised.
And she knew it had gone as well, didn't she? Kim just shook her head at the end there. She was a little bit disappointed in herself, I think. So 3 Shidos up to Kim, and Maeda of Japan wins their 3rd gold medal.
Come now to the awarding ceremony for the men in the under 73 kilo category. Let's go down to the far end of the competition hall and see who we've got lined up on the podium. First of the bronze medals is being presented now, and that goes to Mohammadi Baramanlu of Iran. Second of the bronze medals goes to Denis Iyatsev of Russia.
Silver medal for
Close today, but quite at the top spot. Silver goes to Arthur Margelidon of Canada. That's a really good performance. Canadian picking up
And the gold medal for the
Grand Prix
Republic of China.
silver medal, but the gold medal goes to a very popular Sayin Jirigala of China.
It was always going to be popular, wasn't it? Big smile on his face there, and very, very pleased. Migueliden as well. Just a little bit of a mistake, wasn't it, that Migueliden, he committed, actually. 3 times he did that Kouchigak and almost scored, but had it turned against him there, just landed on his side, and that gave the Chinese the winning score.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the national anthem of the People's
Sayin
Republic of China.
Jirigala, well-deserved gold medal.
And now the national anthem of China.
Very appreciative crowd on their feet for their man.
All day, actually, they've been backing him. He was the class act of the day from the Chinese team, and unfortunately they weren't able to come up with some top performances from the women, from whom they can normally rely on. Mohammadi Barimanlu, Iyatsev with the bronze medalist. Migueliden took the silver, but it was Sayin Jirigala who ended up with gold. A few handshakes as one of the presenters tries to usher them out. That brings us now to the last of the weight categories today, and the first of the bronze medal contest in the under 81 kilo category features Antonio Esposito of Italy. He's up against Choknai Laszlo of Hungary. Esposito in the white judogi, Choki in blue.
Yeah, a little bit of disappointment. Esposito of Italy a little bit earlier when, well, he thought that, and his coach thought that he was doing enough attacking, but lost it in the end by being passive and pushing his opponent out of the area. But this is all experience for him. World ranking 209, Sheldon, so hasn't been out here a lot. So here he is fighting for a bronze medal. Sokhniai, of course, very experienced, and his world ranking at 20. Sokhniai in blue.
He's been around for a bit longer.
I've got to say that it is kind of typical of the Italians. They're very tactical in their approach to the rules and how they play it. They'll play it very, very tight. Very seldom taking massive, big chances.
Yeah, in that regard, they run the French pretty close, don't they?
Yeah, it is. It's very, very close as far as the tactics is concerned. That's going to be a score, is it? I might get it for that. No, I think he needed just to put a little bit more effort into that, and he might have got a score for that, Sokhniai.
First minute gone, just that one tumble. More to write home about. Apart from that,
It's a nice word, tumble, isn't it?
rough and
I
tumble.
mean, it
yeah.
does actually describe our sport quite well. Yes, rough and tumble.
Single penalty picked up by Choknai. Not a bad effort from Esposito, is it? Underneath the defence of the Hungarian. Couldn't quite come up with the finish. But there's a warning there. You want to
Well, there's a difference between positive attacks and negative attacks. You can attack negatively in order that you don't get thrown yourself, and then you can go all out, do a positive attack. Oh, look at that. The elbow came up there. You could see it didn't land on his side. No score given. Good technique, though. Hungarian there. Talk about action, reaction. Scores a lot with that. He has several techniques that he scores from. He's got to be careful of that, though. He keeps climbing on the back there of Esposito.
Chance for the turnover?
Yes, he has a turnover. He definitely has a turnover. Look how he controls the neck, and then he'll turn it in. It was very, very close, wasn't it? And he's going to go again on it. Double lapel turn. Then as he's slipping over, how he's going over, and this is going to roll in this time.
Yeah, he's got to pull a bit harder with that left arm. He lost the left arm, and that allowed him to get away.
Yeah, and he's looking for the right arm underneath the armpit there. And Esposito just realising what's happening here.
A little bit too late.
Offside commie called.
Yeah. Not that tight at the top.
It's not yet, but if he's going to settle, he just might settle in now, and he does. 11 seconds, it's ticking up. Past 10 seconds, it's a Wazari.
Yeah.
It's
just about traps it. 2 seconds left to go there.
So he'll get a Wazari for that, and the Wazari goes on the board. Now he's going to get that leg out again. It's not finished yet.
Managed to turn onto his front. Jockey's had enough of the Neeraza now. He's got the Wazari. A minute, 10 seconds left to go. And if I'd been Chokna, I would have stayed there to work him even longer on the ground. You've had 2 goes at it. You had Osai Komi once. He turned out. You had Osai Komi again. You scored Wazari. Why not go again?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's obviously the place to be with Esposito, isn't it? It's a no-brainer, really.
The last thing that you want to do is to have the Italian up on his feet doing what he's just done there, attacking you and, you know, having you stumble. There's only a single Wazari on the board here. Esposito is not out of it. There's 50 odd seconds left to go. He has got some throwing skills, and if he comes back to score now, Chokna maybe having to be rue the day you let him up.
He's certainly not giving up, is he? Esposito now sprung into action, certainly from his earlier match. I think realising that you've got to attack positively, and certainly that's what he's been doing. That wasn't one. Drops Cianagli without rotation there. Could possibly get a penalty if he does it again. Esposito comes forward. 23 seconds left. Oh, good Cianagli. Right the way underneath him. That's one of the problems, isn't it, of running forwards on towards your opponent. Just drop underneath you.
And he's up for that every time now. He can feel that the motion's coming forward. All he's got to do is to put in a little bit of a turn, and it's going to look as though it's a genuine attack.
Well, exactly. As long as he gets full rotation from it, that's the main thing.
Amano Akika gave him a penalty for a false attack anyways.
He's doing it again here. Esposito there pushing out,
almost.
And there is definite difference between guiding somebody outside of the area, but you're not allowed to push them. Anyway, it wasn't enough, and so the bronze medal goes to Chokanyai of Hungary.
He looks scary, you know. He looks like a scary guy, this jockey, but he's one of the...
He's a nice guy,
yeah,
he really is a
really
nice guy.
friendly, yeah. And I asked him, is it okay, do you mind if we call you Chocky? He said, no, that's how everyone knows him anyway, so. Choknai Laszlo. And with the World Championships coming up in Hungary, he'll be well placed. Mum and Dad will come and have a look, you know.
We'll have his whole family there, won't he? That's for sure.
I don't think they've come to Hohhot in Mongolia to have a look at him. Wait until he gets back to Hungary. And really nice, friendly finish. You know, Esposito is on the losing end of that contest. But it's nice from him as well. He's able to come up, nice big handshake. That's good.
Here's the Osai Komi that scored. technique that he does from the double lapel grip. Double lapel grip takes him over and then secures it, but it didn't start like that, so he didn't quite have the control of the belt all the way through. Enough though to get the Wazari and to get into the win.
We've got the second of the bronze medal contest coming up now. Aslan Lapinagov of Russia faces Lee Seung-soo of the Republic of Korea. It's Lapinagov in the white judo gi, Lee in blue. Lee was one of my picks this morning.
Absolutely, he has terrific transition into the arm lock, and he does it very, very well. He's also very explosive. I thought for sure that he was going to come through to the final, but you've got to say, Kubetsov did a good job in the semi-final against him. Kubetsov we're going to see a little bit later.
Current European champion, he's in the final.
Yeah, he's in the final. Valois Fortier, former Olympic bronze medalist and world bronze medalist. So that's going to be a cracker.
The Russians really, really spoilt for choice at this weight. Lapinagov here in the bronze medal contest, Kubetsov in the final, and sitting at home possibly watching
3 or 4.
And Hassan Kalmuzayev,
Yeah.
the current Olympic champion at this weight.
The Olympic champion there, being saved for the World Championships. He came back, first event just a couple of weeks ago after the Olympic Games. Decided to take a year out.
Have a little run out now. Get warmed up.
Warmed up for the Worlds. Can you imagine that? A European champion and you have no chance of going to the World Championships representing your country.
I like Lapinagov's movement and stance. Nice judo.
Well, a lot of it's to do with stance, isn't it? A nice upright position. That's what differentiates us from wrestling, any form of wrestling actually, where it's more bent over. And of course they can grab the legs in those forms of wrestling, and in judo you can't. So you can stand up straighter, use your hands to control your opponent, and then it's all about finding your partner's balance points in order to throw them.
He's not going to hang around. The referee's seen nothing's coming of this, and the penalty is dished out to Lee Seung-soo for non-combativity. Comes up with that little right-sided Murati Suanagi attack, but really wasn't that threatening. And now he's left his arm hanging out. Oh, Lapinagov missed the chance. Then you can see it written all over his face.
It kind of said it there,
did I
didn't
miss
it?
that?
It really did. It was the arm was out, and Lee, who's been dangerous going onto the arm himself all the way through the competition, almost gets caught himself. Well, you were saying that Kalmuzayev is at home, the Olympic champion, but they've got about another 3 as well that have competed at the very highest levels.
At 81.
At 81 kilograms, yeah.
We'd run down them. We'd given the rundown. They're both fighters guilty of this, just pulling the jacket away, that infringement, and they've got penalised.
Yeah, Lee can't afford another penalty, otherwise he loses the match by default. Pinning the sleeve all the time. He's got to attack off it. Now he has the sleeve and lapel. Is he going to commit?
Kalmuzayev, the world #1 at the moment, followed by Kubetsov. The Russian scores here now.
Nice Uchimata there. Lee went over the top.
Quickly to put in there: Kubetsov, Lapinagov, Semenov, Kabachirov, Vorobev, Magomedov, Nifontov, who was former world champion. We're down to 102 on the world ranking list. They're just full of them. There's no room.
Yeah, what a lovely position to be in.
Oh.
Now it's going to... Oh, that was so close, wasn't it there? Almost committed there. And Uranagi there was on the cards. Lapinagov Almost took him up there into the ceiling. Quick look at the clock, 47 seconds left. Is he going to waste a bit of time in Newaza? And more importantly, is the referee going to allow them? Don't forget, Lipinnikov has a score up here, so any or every second that he can waste down here is to his advantage. Well, I think that the referee should have stood them up, yeah, a lot quicker than that.
And Yong Hwan is the coach in the chair for Lee, himself a world bronze medalist. That was back in Rotterdam in 2009.
Getting desperate now, pushing forward. That's going to be a penalty to Lipinnikov. Stepping outside of the area, has to be given. But he gets a Shido. 2 seconds left on the clock. So another medal for Russia.
Hard work. He knows it, and a chance missed there. Single score by Lipinnikov was enough to get him past Lee Seong-soo.
Well, guaranteed 2 under 81 kilo fighters on that rostrum. Is it going to be a gold or a silver? That final just about to happen. Current European champion just about to step out there. But this man here did a good job. Lipinnikov beating a very sound fighter, Lee Seong-soo of Korea. Uchimata, it was almost a hip throw first of all, wasn't it? Uchimata was secondary.
Helps him over there with the leg going up, just to give a bit of lift, but as Neil says, more of a hip technique there. Just goes heavily onto his side as well. Right, we come now to the final of the under 81 kilo category. Alan Kubetsov of Russia faces Antoine Valois-Fortier of Canada. It's Kubetsov in the white judogi, Valois-Fortier in blue.
Should be an all-action one. I think that probably it's going to suit Kubetsov, the very tall stance of Valois-Fortier, but Valois-Fortier is starting to come to a bit of form, certainly the best form that I've seen him in for a little while at this tournament.
The referee in the middle for this one is Wang Xiaowei of China. It's the second turn in the middle. Got some confidence in it. Not bad.
No, it's a great opportunity, and what happens when the referees get selected to go into the final draw, it's chosen out of a computer to make it all fair. So look at the draw, really. Like you say, got chosen for 2 of them.
Must be doing something right. You can see the height difference already. Long and slim is Valois-Fortier. Kubetsov slightly more compact.
Yeah, and I said that's going to suit Kubetsov. Right, Sianagi just opened it up with, but watch, he goes into the left Sorisura Komigoshi off the sleeve from the right-handed grip.
Moves nicely as well.
Yeah, there was a situation where he did a massive technique in the final. I'm just trying to think what the tournament was. It was just a couple of tournaments away, wasn't it? Where he did a massive Sorisura Komigoshi, touched the leg on the way over, and because he had 2 penalties, he lost the final. It was a bit unfortunate, really. A little bit like Undervazaka that we just saw.
Yeah,
just part of the movement.
Sasha Mehmedovic just giving some instructions to Valois Fortier there, but it's the Canadian who's picked up the single Shido.
The Shido on the board doesn't mean anything at the moment. Any major score from either throw, hold down, or an arm lock or a strangle will just overrule 2 or 1 penalty. But if you get a third penalty, then of course you lose the match by default. So you can't afford too many of them. By the looks of it, Valois Fortier just having a few problems there with Kubetsov. I think Kubetsov going to get the penalty.
Kubetsov now receiving some instructions from his coach, Hassan Bani Taov. Russian himself was a bronze medalist at the Olympic Games in Athens in 2004. He's put on some weight since then. That's Taov. He's a tall, big guy. He was at 90 kilos and under 90 kilos, but he looks more like 110 maybe now. He's tall, he can carry it.
Happens to a lot of us.
Yeah. It didn't happen to you.
No. Try and stay within a couple of kilos of the old weight if we can.
But Taov was tall anyway, a bit like Antoine Valois Fortier, and he's filled out a bit, chest and big arms. That was okay. Fills out those suits now. Sasha, well, he was a few weights below that, Mehmedovic, down at 66 kilos.
Kubetsov having a real problem to settle here. The very rangy Valois Fortier hitting him with some good techniques.
Nice movement.
Yeah, on the other side of that, I was just about to say Kubetsov capable of doing any kind of Yoko Satemi just to take him off to the side. Got to be careful he doesn't come forward too aggressively, Valois Fortier.
He was in pretty quickly there, wasn't he? Canadian almost left his arm there. Kubetsov had a bit of a pull on it, but I think he was looking for the jacket and the grip, as opposed to thinking about the possibility of what have been Udi Gatami maybe standing up. Isn't there a really nice photograph of you executing something standing up with someone on their knees?
Udi Gatami, yes.
Into the Budokai, if I remember correctly. Yeah.
It's a gentleman called Mike Foster.
Poor fella.
And he ran for president of Ghana.
Oh, okay.
It's an interesting one.
Whacking that on. I do remember that.
1976, a few years back.
Okay. Fortier just trying to work Kubetsov over there, but strong fighter. Half a minute left. Single Shido against Valois Fortier. Without a positive score, we would go into golden score, and that is looming large at the moment.
Yeah, as I said before, Kubetsov having a problem here, just settling with the very rangy Valois Fortier. And of course, credit to Valois Fortier as well. Very experienced. He's quelled the big techniques of Kubetsov. Kubetsov looking to go right the way underneath him, and he's done very well. Almost the last second there, wasn't it there? Kubetsov and Valois Fortier attacking at the same time.
Steam is the problem now, isn't it?
Well, it is now. Who's got the best condition? Who wants it most? Goes into golden score. Kubetsov looks to me as if he's struggling.
He didn't want this at all. He hasn't been able to tie Valois Fortier up. He's always had one arm free and he's been able to escape one way or the other.
Yeah, and I think condition-wise as well, he seems to be struggling to move his feet. And that's why he had such a lot of success with it a few weeks back. But I think that's what's going to cost him in the end. I think that Valois Fortier just a little bit livelier.
And Kubetsov, I just get the feeling that Kubetsov is beginning to unravel. He's not as tight as he was earlier on. It's looking a little bit untidy, some of the judo.
Well, again, not attacking here, Kubetsov. Kubetsov just about to get a penalty. Surprised, actually, that he hasn't got one before, because he's done nothing. Now he has. That's going to be a score, surely.
Yeah.
It's going to be all over. He
No
just ran
power.
out of steam, didn't he? He ran out of steam, you could see it. And a well-deserved gold medal there for this man here, Valois Fortier of Canada.
Those two things acted like dominoes in the end. He didn't have sufficient power. The attack was untidy in the end. It was, and the third thing that I was about to say was beginning to look a little bit desperate from him. And he was underpowered. He was overstretched. It was an untidy effort that left him open, and Valois Fortier was able to counter it. Terrific effort, really, from the Canadian. He's not the most classical and stylish of judokas, but he's been everywhere and got medals.
And he's rangy, isn't he? Very rangy, very awkward. Good performance. Valois Fortier wins the gold medal in the under 81 kilos category for Canada.
And it's difficult to say that's a surprise, because he's won, medals at almost every level. Then why not? Why not? Dumps the European champion too far away.
Yoko Otoshi there, easily countered, and he just uses the hands. Tewaza in order to take the Russian onto his back. So he gets a score for it. Wazari scored on the board, and yeah.
He lifted that foot out of the way so easily, and when that foot was stretched out from Kubetsov, there was nothing there.
No, great opportune score, and it wins the under 81 kilograms for Canada.
Really good effort. Right, we've got the awarding ceremony for the women in the under 70 kilo category now. Jose Rodriguez is presenting the medals. First of all, the first bronze medal goes to Barbara Matic of Croatia, and then to Natasha Ausma of the Netherlands. Silver medal goes to Kim Seong-yeon of the Republic of Korea. The gold medal goes to Maeda Naeko of Japan.
And her world ranking of 87, definitely going to go up after this. And that's what the Japanese do. If they've got somebody new that they want to blood, they put them in there, they get their world ranking up. Gives them a lot of choice for the big events.
Yeah, well, you alluded to that earlier on with the Russian team at under 81. What a position to be in, to have that kind of choice available. Well, we've got another awarding ceremony to come after this. We've also got some highlights. But before that, we've got the national anthem of Japan.
Thank you.
That's the second time we heard the Japanese national anthem today. It was, wasn't it? Tashiro Miku.
Absolutely.
In the under 63
4 gold medals now over 2 days. So Japan leading the medals at the moment.
Both deserved winners.
Absolutely, and quite clear, especially with the ladies at the moment. The Japanese skill from a throwing perspective and their transition into groundwork, great advantage to them.
It's a good point that Neil makes about the transition into Newaza, because from 48 to 63, I'd say that for years now, they've been absolute masters. 48, 52, 57, 63, you could name all of those fighters in there who featured from Japan were almost reliant on Newaza. Beginning to change a little bit now. We're seeing a few, you know, real throwers in there. In the heavier weights, 70, 78, plus 78, you know, those big bang them over type techniques. But it's catching, because there are a few out there now who fancy their chances. Well,
I think the rules definitely lend themselves to good throwing ability and also good transition and good groundwork. So it's an all-over sport, and that's what makes us different, of course, to jiu-jitsu, where we have the throwing skills, but we also have groundwork skills, and different kind of groundwork skills as well.
One of the, it was Ishikawa Megumi of Japan who was talking about the change from, you know, being able to win on Shidos, a fighter being able to win just on Shidos in normal times. He said it's changed completely their timing on the ground, because they can give up a Shido. They can give up 2 Shidos and still work on the ground. Whereas before, a fighter would think, oh, you know, there's nothing I can do. I have to make something happen in normal time, or else I'm going to lose on that single Shido or a second Shido. So they're quite happy with that, with that change.
I like it though, Sheldon. I like the fact that we've now got a situation where people are going for ippon as opposed to penalties, and I think that if we did have a swing towards people just playing to the edge or playing to get the other person penalised, and now of course we're not allowing it, and so it's got to be, let me get a score. A lot easier to get a score than it is to play for penalties. A lot easier.
I think it's become a more attractive competition sport to watch than it was, say, in 2000. I remember we had so many people who were just fighting in that jigotai position, their arms stretched out, and improved since then, definitely. Right, here is the lineup of the medal winners in the under 81 kilo category. We're looking at Antoine Valois, 48 there, Canada, gold medalist. What's a job he's done today, given the quality of the field that he was up against.
Well, it's always very strong as well, isn't it? The field in the under 81 kilograms, a lot of depth.
Medals are being presented by Mr. Zhou, the president of the Chinese Judo Association, and they go to Aslan Lapinigov of Russia, to Choknai Laszlo of Hungary. Silver medal went to Alan Kubetsov of Russia, but the gold medal goes to Antoine Valois, 48 of Canada.
Brilliant performance from him, and so after 2 days of fierce competition here in Hohhot, Japan, are leading with 3 gold medals and just showing everybody how it's done. Still 1 day to go though, and anything can happen in the last day, normally does as well. With the light heavyweights and heavyweights tomorrow battling it out. Sheldon and I look forward to seeing you all at the same time tomorrow, so until then from both of us here, it's goodbye for now.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the national anthem of Canada. 请全体起立，升国旗，奏国歌。 Thank you. And now it's time for a friendly picture of the athletes and the VIPs, please.